Hello there, welcome to Heart Explained Therapy, and now I'm going to tell you how to survive lockdown number 3. Now, what's going on at the moment is, for most people, your usual practices, your usual hobbies would have been stopped, and they would have been, you had no choice but to be different now. Now, first things that you've got to figure out is how much is the fear factor of COVID important to you? I mean, what scale of the fear factor are you on? If it is one that's just personal, you fear it because of your own health, and you will be agitated if you're in an experience with somebody else, then you have to view the rest of the actions based on that. If you're worried about seeing other people and there's certain dynamics that are just individual to you, then remember you have to go by this level of fear and understand what level of fear that you're at before you can start to do all of the other things. You have to first be your own judge and say, right, first of all, do you believe COVID is as dangerous as it seems? Are you as vulnerable as it seems? If the answer of that is you just don't know, then I would say that you've got to caution on the fearful factor before the naive factor. Because if you're unsure and confused about what is actually going on, you're going to be more likely to be reactive. And now this is an important thing for you to learn, because it's the reasons why you bite people's head off, or you're having difficulties when maybe your husband or wife comes in from work and you have a go, or you ask who they spoke to, or have you wore your mask, have you washed your hands, get in the shower, and all this sort of chaotic behaviour, all this you're phoning up your mum and dad, telling them not to go out, stopping, and it's all your behaviour, trying to protect them, and it's understandable, but you've got to get down about your own level of the fear factor and what it's doing, because the rest of it is just going to be reactive and it's going to be madness. But on the lockdown, if you have to, let's say you have to work from home now, which is what a lot of people will be doing. Now, it's very difficult, and some people might have always dreamt of working from home, but there's lots of distractions that stop you from doing your job in the house, and it's not as easy or as comfortable for everybody. And if you're in that comfortable environment where you're just enjoying lockdown free and you've sorted out your habits and what to do, then that's great. But I'm sure there's going to be small little problems sort of developing where you have to work from home, but there's other people in your house now, so you have to find a place of your own sort of solitude where you can do what you need to do, where you need to function without that external noise. So it's basically planning and problem solving as quick as you can before we get deep rooted into the lockdown and you're pulling your hair out if you're not doing it already. One of the problems that I've come across is I can't sleep at night because I'm no longer tired from my 9-10 hour day sort of shift. That basically means I'm getting up later because I'm falling asleep later, and it's messed up a sleeping pattern. Now, if you have had this as well, what can you do? So I've had to adapt to this myself, and I will not basically lie in bed tossing and turning waiting to fall asleep or trying to fall asleep. I've found that just doesn't work. You might as well get up, you might as well have a drink. I'm not saying have a cup of caffeinated coffee, I'm saying just get up, have a glass of water, put some TV on, something sort of relaxing, leisurely, sort of nothing too stressful, and just get into a position where you're winding down without the thoughts of I must sleep, I must go to sleep, I'm usually asleep by 10 and now it's midnight, blah de blah. This is just going to cause more chaos. It's a slight interference with your normal sleeping routine. It's going to change back to normal in a month or 2 months, whenever this sort of is over. So just at the time now, you're adapting to a new sleeping pattern. So unfortunately, you have to adjust that. You have to knock those couple of hours off. And unfortunately, that sleeping routine is a big one, because that sort of sets you up for the day, isn't it? And someone who's getting up at, or used to get up at 7, is now getting up at 10, and it's, you're feeling out of sync, you're feeling less motivated, there's nothing to do, so you're watching more TV, you're probably watching the news more, you're talking about it more. Don't let this lockdown change all your habits to worse ones. Let this lockdown be polarising you to do important stuff, which is make a plan. Make a plan of what you want to do in the day. Now, if this means cleaning the windows for the 17th time with a toothbrush, if this is good for your well-being and good for your mental health, then do it. If this means ordering an exercise machine off Amazon that is beneficial for your physical health, because you're not walking around the park because it seems like 75,000 people are going to that park now and they're all queuing up outside the coffee shop, then do what you have to do for your well-being. But make sure it's a positive one. Make sure it's a positive response, because that positive response is what's going to mean that you come out the other side of lockdown free a better person, a physical, healthy person. I mean, I've been working out now in the morning, in the daytime, and in the evening. Now, it's not, I'm not advocating exercising non-stop, but it's something that I'm not usually have time to do because of work. So I'm getting into a better physical shape from it. So I'm going to come out of lockdown free with a better physical and mental well-being, because I'm picking good habits to do. Now, if you've never read a book and you can't sort of read a book, you're one of those people that just says, I've never read and I'm not going to start it now. Just try it. Try something you've never liked before, you've never tried before, and see how it turns out. If you are watching TV and you've gone through the whole of Friends series 3 times over, and let's face it, the only good thing on Netflix is Friends, New Girl, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's the only 3 good things on Netflix. The rest is just pure tripe. So if you've got 10 hours of that, separate that into 2 hours, and the other 2 hours, why don't you Google that dream that you wanted to do? Find a YouTube video that tells you how to make a shelf out of toilet roll. The little brown things that you get in toilet rolls. Now, this is just having fun with the habits, but find something that you want to do. Google it, find it on a YouTube video and learn about it. Why don't you learn? Why don't you say, before you're going to get bogged down in a 3-hour session of Game of Thrones again, even though you've watched it 6 times, you're going to spend 10 minutes learning some new facts and liven that mind up, and don't just do bad things because you've got loads of time to do bad things. And I think this is the only way to survive. To realise your fear levels, your trigger levels, how you're going to react emotionally, and for everything that you're going to want to do which is negative based on COVID, do the positive. It's simple, it's what you would normally do in normal life, or what you should be doing normally in normal life, although this has just heightened it, it's highlighted that you probably don't do it. And I think we can survive this and come out with a better mind, stronger mind, physically more healthy than we've ever been before, looking after our immune system. I think there's so many positives to come out of lockdowns and COVID, and we're not focusing on them. We're focusing on all the negative and the bad stuff, and it's like, no, do you know what? You can get more active now than you've ever been before because of COVID, and you can tell people that as well.